Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Installment of Scott Selections here for Thursday, October 7th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened. So we had a really tough loss in baseball with Max Scherzer over 3.5 hits allowed at minus 120 on DraftKings. We had a lot of chances. Scherzer definitely did not look sharp. He didn't have his A stuff, probably didn't even have his B stuff. And yet St. Louis only finished with 3 hits against him. A couple of other things happened. Scherzer let a lot of guys on base. Cardinals had 8 base runners when he was in the game, but you only had 3 hits, you had 3 walks, a hit by pitch, and you had a ground ball by Carlson, which got stuck in Seager's glove. I thought it was an error, but you could have made an argument in some ballparks it would have been ruled a hit. They gave him an error for it, and instead of us getting a 4th hit, we ended up with 3 on the bang-bang play at first base, which is a bit unfortunate, but at the end of the day, we had a lot of chances. Scherzer just did enough to not give up hits, but he ended up walking the entire team, basically. So I still like the value. Didn't work out, but either way, look for a winner here on Thursday. And for the play today, looking at college football between 2 Sunbelt, Funbelt teams, and that'll take place at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, between Coastal Carolina and Arkansas State. And for the play today, we look at team total in this one. And the play today is going to be on Coastal Carolina team total over 45.5 at minus 105 on Fox Bet. Time recording of 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering is why I like the over in the spot. Now, I know 45.5 for a team total sounds extremely high, and I understand that it is potentially high. However, with these 2 teams being involved, this line's too low. And to go through why, we'll start off with Arkansas State's defense. Now, this team is arguably the worst FBS defense in the country. Arkansas State is allowing 45.6 points per game. To go through some of the teams that this Arkansas State team has faced already, it faced Memphis, gave up 55 points. Faced off against Washington. We know Washington's a Power 5 school, but with Morris at quarterback, this offense has been a mess. Washington didn't care. Washington scored 52 points. Played against Georgia Southern last week. With an interim head coach, that team was awful all season long. Georgia Southern scored 59 points. They played against Tulsa as well. Tulsa's offense, not very good, scored 41 points. And the reason why Arkansas State's only giving up 45.6 and not probably 48 or 49 points per game is because it faced off against an FCS team in week 1 and only gave up about 21 points, which is the outlier there. But against FBS competition, Arkansas State is basically just giving up 50 points every single outing just for the fun of it. And Coastal Carolina is a great offense, ranked team, obviously, and Coastal's averaging 48.2 points per game. It has scored at least 49 points in 4 of its first 5 games. Now, the level of competition with some of those games has been pretty weak, I will admit that. But to go through the actual performances, faced off against the Citadel in week 1, scored 52. Faced off against Kansas in week 2, scored 49. Played against the Buffalo team, which is a much better defense than Arkansas State. Then faced off against UMass, scored 53, and faced off against UL Monroe last week and scored 59. Now, Arkansas State is probably a better overall team than UMass, UL Monroe, Kansas, the Citadel, all those teams. But the defense, you can make an argument, it's a pretty solid comparison because Arkansas State can't stop anybody. Neither can those teams that I mentioned. And Coastal dropped 50 on 3 of them, 49 on all 4 of them. So I think Coastal's probably going to score at least 49 points here, probably 50, honestly. Coastal is 1-0 in conference play, but it's another conference game against a bottom feeder. I do think in a televised game, Coastal will try to make a statement, put up a bunch of points, and Arkansas State is also atrocious against the pass and the run. Arkansas State's giving up 300-plus passing yards per game and 263.2 rushing yards per game, which is important because Coastal averages 270 passing yards per game and 257 rushing yards per game. So Coastal is very balanced with McCall. They also have multiple running backs who can run the ball at will. And Arkansas State really can't stop anything. Plus, Arkansas State plays up tempo, so you should see a decent amount of possessions in this game. I think Coastal will be able to move up and down the field. I think they'll score 50-plus, and 45.5 to me, even though it sounds too high for a team total, it's really not. I think Coastal scores at least 49, so I think this number is too low. So the play that it once again here for Thursday, October 7th, is going to be on Coastal Carolina, team total over 45.5 points at minus 105 on Fox Bet. Bye, everyone.